Welcome to this bonus edition of A Strange New Pod. I am your captain and host, Julian Brown, alongside my dear friend and the man who keeps our streams up and running, Rear Admiral Eric, and our resident one-man Jean-Luc Picard fan club, Lieutenant Hawk. And then also making her return to A Strange New Pod and our bridge is Rachel Amber Bloom, joining us from the Discotheque podcast. Welcome aboard, and thanks for joining us again last minute, too.
Of
Thank
course.
you for having us.
And we're wondering, probably, those watching on Twitch and YouTube, why we opened our hailing frequencies, even though we just did a pod 24 hours ago. Yeah. Well, that's because we got some awesome Strange New Worlds news, and this was originally meant to be a Strange New Worlds podcast. So here we are doing a Strange New Worlds podcast. Here we go. We got casting news, and we got some information on the direction the show's going, who's writing the premiere, who's directing the premiere. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do this all a little bit briefly. We're going to try and keep this within half an hour because we had to push back our Hamilton watch party. We're going to be doing a Hamilton watch party directly following this podcast on our Discord. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, we got the awesome casting news, but don't take that information from us. Let's let Captain Pike himself tell you the story.
Space, the final frontier.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Its 5-year mission
to explore strange new worlds,
to seek out new life
and new civilizations,
to boldly go where no one has gone before.
That's right. Production is officially underway on the all-new Star Trek series,
Strange New Worlds.
I'm just so excited to say those words.
Stepping back onto the Enterprise will always feel like a dream come true.
To sit there and to look around and to see everything, it felt so real and it was so magical.
It looks like it could take off.
Such a surreal moment for me that I will remember for a very long time.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's like a 705.
So get ready for the voyages you have been waiting for.
We've started. We're in Toronto. We're in production.
Here we go.
So that was Captain Pike, Ethan Peck, Mr. Spock, and Rebecca Romaine as number one. And then our awesome, totally new cast members, which we're so freaking excited about, even though there's little known about them right now, at least some of them. Some of them have been on more things than others, but we were talking about it kind of pre-show a little bit. This is going to be a big break for some of these actors, and I think that that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, I personally love when it's lesser known actors that come into a big franchise. One, because I love being able to see new talent, and I think there's less baggage, I guess, that comes with sometimes when people are like, but I expect them to be like this.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really happy with it. And one of the other things that's really awesome about this this cast and crew is, once again, Star Trek and Kurtzman, Star Trek specifically, just casting a diverse group of people, and that's also really exciting. What do you think about the diversity of this cast? We have lots of women, we have people of color, and I think that's always excellent.
Yeah, it's great seeing it looks like at least half and half, like half people of color and half women, half men, which is nice. Seeing that equal diversity is not something you'll see on many shows, and having that on a Star Trek show seems like it's a normal thing, but it's still nice to see when it happens.
It is really nice to see.
Yeah. So we're going to go through this cast that was announced today. There's 5 cast members. We're going to talk about them. We warn you, just like probably a lot of you guys, we are not that familiar with some of these actors. Most of these actors, they're new to us. So this is going to be a lot of talking about what they've been in. Maybe we've seen them, maybe we haven't, and mostly speculation, but news is news, and we're here to talk about it. So let's go. I am going to really butcher this man's name, and I apologize.
You want me to butcher it?
Yeah, can you butcher
it?
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'm used to butchering names. So the first person on our cast is Babs Olusanbokun. That's not bad. He has had roles on Black Mirror, The Defenders, and the upcoming Dune movie. So, he's sort of in a good place. There's also there's also some talk about changing up Dr. Boyce. And what do you think? Maybe this might be a good casting choice?
Go ahead, Hawk.
I think he's already been cast as Ship's Doctor in that.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys remember a few months back in that when there was an open casting call in that for 5 parts in that, and so far I think I've pegged each one of them down to the part from that casting call list.
But Dr. Boyce is the Doctor.
According to this, there was a call for a Ship's Doctor by the name of Biotin.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
a fake name.
That's got to be a fake name, right? It's got it. Yeah, it is listed as at the end of it, curiously from the original series. So this is our new Dr. Boyce.
That reminds me. I saw an interview with Anson Mount. Said when he auditioned, they gave him like the worst captain name, and when they was like, "Oh yeah, you're auditioning for Captain Pike," you're like, "Oh, that makes so much more sense."
They probably called him Captain Ike and was like, "Are you sure it's not Captain Pike?"
Yeah.
No, Ike. It's Ike. It's Ike.
And be Pikachu.
He was wonderful in Black Mirror. He was in that Black Museum episode, which was just harsh.
Ooh, that episode.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let me ask you a question. First off, on Twitch, Rob says, as a rule, I don't really believe casting call descriptions, and I mean that's fair. A lot of them can be kind of diversion. But he also says, "P.S. Jeffrey Combs for Dr. Boyce. I will die on this hill." I think a lot of us are dying on this hill, but at the same time, do we like that they're taking the character a different direction? I mean, I don't have a problem with it if it's not Jeffrey Combs. I don't mind.
No, and like there's a million reasons why a fan casting sometimes don't work out. Like I don't know what Jeffrey Combs' schedule is actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I like taking someone that large or that big of a deal to the fandom and kind of going with a different way, especially because since the 3 who have already been cast from Discovery are all white, I think it's probably a good to change up the race of someone.
Yeah. Plus, like Dr. Boyce isn't really a character. We saw him in one scene in one really bad episode. So,
and yet people love him.
Yeah. Because he likes horses.
He's very grumpy, and I think people relate.
Yeah, exactly. This is getting a little bit off topic, but I think it's actually a good question. Before we move on with our casting call here, we've been talking about all these new Star Trek shows. We've been getting the news from Prodigy, the eventual maybe not happening Section 31 show. And Captain RGD on YouTube asks, will Star Trek universe, which they're kind of calling the whole Star Trek universe now, aptly titled, become like Marvel Studios? Like, will it become like the MCU? What do you guys think?
It would be the smart thing for them, at least if they had someone, overseeing all of their projects and making it coherent. I don't know. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it maybe is kind of already, and I kind of assume that's part of Alex Kurtzman's job.
Yeah, that makes sense. With 2 movies possibly in the works now, with the Nicholas Meyer news and all these series, I mean, it's certainly looking that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when is there too much Trek, Julian?
You know what? I don't want to hear it from you, Carrie. I don't want to hear it. All right. I already got my comeuppance on Discord. All right. Mag saw to it. Okay.
When do we get a theme park? That's what I want to know.
Do you guys remember back in 80s, 90s? I think it was either going to be in Universal or Disney. They had the rights. They were going to build a refit Constitution class hotel in one of the parks. And they never did it. I know.
Hey, Hawk, being Canadians, do you remember Paramount's Canada's Wonderland and how they had an Enterprise there?
Oh God!
It was a big ass model of it, and then people would dress.
Maybe at Canada's Wonderland once in my lifetime, and that was like after.
Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. It's terrible. On Twitter, JD Haven wrote, "I would rather have Jeffrey Combs on Strange New Worlds than hearing the rumor that Archer will be back as a flashback." Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
I like Archer. Bring back Archer all the time.
I'm good with
bring back Shran.
Shran would be great. I'm here for Scott Bakula.
There's time travel. Scott Bakula.
I'd like to see Anson Mount punch Scott Bakula in the face for some reason. You are a shitty captain. Boom.
He got better.
It's true. Let's move on with this casting call, guys. Next up is Christina Chong. You can actually catch her right now. And Rachel, you've watched this or had your whole ordeal with Justice League, the new Tom and Jerry film. But much like Babs up top, she's appeared on Black Mirror as well, and also on Doctor Who, Halo Nightfall, and then 24 Live Another Day. So you've seen her, and I've seen her in the Doctor Who episode. What are your thoughts on Christina Chong?
She's a very small role in Tom and Jerry, for the record. She seemed good. I didn't think she was awful. There were worse things about the movie, definitely, than her. Which is that movie focuses a lot on human characters for a movie that's like Tom and Jerry. But yeah, she seemed good, and I'm trying to remember which Doctor Who episode she's in though.
She was in A Good Man Goes to War, which is a fantastic.
That episode's great.
Yeah. So I honestly don't remember her role. It's been a long time since I've seen A Good Man Goes to War, but I know that is one of that's Matt Smith's run, right?
It is.
Yeah,
2011. Yeah,
that's one of the best episodes of his run. So
she was good on 24 for a really bad miniseries.
That was a bad miniseries.
Yeah,
it was.
Living Another Day was not good.
I looked who she was in that episode. She's really good in that episode, actually.
Nice.
She has a really great scene with Alec with the leads, and you kind of feel emotional for her, even though she is the only one who's not a regular character.
Hawk, what are you going to say?
I believe she is going to be playing. Well, the character's listed as Leon, late 20s, early 30s, the head of security. She's badass, physical, suffers from PTSD, an air of vigilance and passion.
Okay.
Nice.
Why do you say that specifically? Just because of the age, or
age and the ethnic background and that, because they didn't quite know who they what kind of background they wanted for it, and that's so they left it very open.
All right, we will see. Again, this is all speculation, guys. We have no idea,
except for our checks from Paramount.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten mine.
Yeah, no. The mail's bad right now.
Oh, have you also been accused of being a shill?
Oh my god, multiple times. I mean, listen, we will not turn down Paramount money. Just saying that, we would be more than happy.
I have joked around with people. I was like, how do you get a care package from Paramount Plus?
Right? Yeah, I would like to get one of those. The most I got were those patches, which were pretty cool, but that was about it. We have another question from Captain RGD on YouTube. And this is something I'd like to see, and I'll get your guys' answer. Are we going to see an Admiral Robert April, the first captain of the USS Enterprise?
Oh, that would be cool.
I hope so. I never even thought about that. That's amazing. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Whether it's a flashback of him handing the Enterprise off to Pike, and then later on Pike handing it off to Kirk. I don't know. We'll see. I want it. I'd like to see it.
Good job, Captain RGD.
I know. He's coming in with or he or she is coming in with all the awesome questions tonight. I like it. Moving on to Celia Rose Gooding. Celia starred in the Broadway musical Jagged Little Pill, the adaptation of Alanis Morissette's hit album, which is fantastic. I really want to see the show. And she was actually nominated for a Tony for that musical, obviously, until everything was shut down. She was starring in that. And Rachel, you brought up a good point. It's curious if they're going to be able to wrap filming time depending on when Broadway reopens.
Broadway reopening is still months away.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate, because I also really want to see this film. And I've seen clips of her in it, but I was never able to get down to New York, and obviously not right now. But on the clips I saw, she was really, really good. I know her character, I think, sings Head Over Heels, which is one of my favorite Alanis Morissette songs.
Nice. Yeah, I love that song.
Head Over Feet, sorry.
Head Over Feet. Head Over Heels is one of the lyrics, though. So
yeah.
Has she said she's returning to the cast?
I don't think she said she's not, but also, Broadway is very up in the air right now.
A couple people have left that cast, unfortunately, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the shows that's luckily still slated to return, so
that's going to be something I do, I think, immediately when Broadway reopens. Go see that. Yeah.
I know, like Frozen the musical just closed, and Mean Girls did as well.
Yeah. I kind of listen. I got a kid who absolutely adores Frozen. I kind of wanted to go see that.
The touring company, though, right? They
Honestly,
got that going,
Frozen
right?
will tour when
That's true.
I think Frozen will probably make more money touring because people like you who have little kids, and it's a great way to. I'm actually very pro like musicals like that or adapting because it's a great way to get kids into live theater because it will hold their attention because they already love the story.
I hope my kid goes into theater. I really do. Yes, both my kids. Speaking of theater, I really wanted to mention that because I think we talked about it when we were talking about doing our Short Treks episode, and the actress who plays Poe was pulled right from Broadway. And this is like a theme that Kurtzman just continues to do and his whole crew do, and that's pulling these awesome stage actors and bringing them onto Star Trek. And that's like really, really exciting. I know, I think all of us, Rachel, unfortunately, I don't know if you have or not, I've done some form of stage performance or another.
Yeah. Where do you think Dramador came from?
I was going to say.
I figured I didn't want to assume.
Yeah, it was I was very much a theater kid in high school.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome to see these actors get that kind of opportunity and to basically be pulled from that and get some of their first, film and television acting gigs. I think it's awesome.
I think it just makes sense when you're casting like actors for a show like this and that. I mean, like for anybody pulled out of a theater background, automatically has to be able to know to sing, act, dance, and emote like crazy. So
it's like getting Ian Lake, right? Like get a Shakespearean theater person to just jump on a Star Trek show. They'll know how to speak in makeup and prosthetics, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. I think the exaggerated language of Shakespeare, I think would translate well to like, do you know what this means? No, it's fine. Just say it.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I believe that Celia Rose Gooding, she's going to be playing the new linguistics officer, Yaboa.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
I like it. We will see. Moving on to Jess Bush. Jess has starred in the indie film Skinford, which apparently was very critically acclaimed. And just because I'm just making a wild assumption here. I said I don't like to assume, but I'm going to assume here that she could be the real breakout star of the series simply because she hasn't been in anything. And these shows tend to do that for the actors who've been in them. I mean, like, look at Mary Wiseman. She's a fucking star now, right? Like, just fantastic. So I'm excited for all these cast members who are getting new roles. And Joe is too. He on Twitch, he says, I'm really excited for the possibilities with Strange New Worlds. And going back real quick to our April conversation, a lot of people would say they would love to see April in action. So not much on Jess Bush. Do you want to give your guess, Hawk?
I believe she's going to be Bioden, or Boyce's nurse. The character description is late 20s, early 30s, heroic, charming, free thinking, and the beating heart of sickbay.
You know what's funny about her? She looks like, just from the pictures that they released today, like, and then in the video, she looks like she could play a live action Tendi.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah, I thought so. Let's move on. We have Melissa. Now, this is, I'm going to preface by saying this is probably the one person that we can accurately say is pegged down as one of the members on the casting call. It's Melissa Nivea. She has had a recurring role on the AMC series Dietland and has also appeared on one of my favorite shows, Billions, as well as Homeland, another one of my favorite shows, both of those on Showtime, which is a now CBS property, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that HBO? No, I think that's a CBS.
Oh, we're talking about Homeland?
No, I'm talking about Showtime. I think Showtime is owned by Viacom's CBS, but it doesn't really matter. Melissa's also another stage actor, which is awesome, and she made her debut off Broadway in the show Bundle of Sticks, which has also been critically acclaimed. So as I said before, evident on the casting call that Melissa landed the role of Ortega's. Hawk, correct me if I'm wrong. The call said that she's in her late 20s, Latinx, and an experienced Starfleet vet. She has a dry wit. She's smart. She's funny and competitive. Apparently, she can go from making a joke to shooting someone with a phaser from like 0 to 60. And described as possibly being a Riker type. Are we excited for this character?
Ooh. Trombone?
Yeah,
yes.
hold on.
Give me warp.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. No, yeah, she would be. Yeah, just from what I've seen her on in Homeland, I haven't seen Billions, but she was wonderful on that show. So
she's wonderful in Billions.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Very much so. I'm happy with everything with announced so far.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at the right.
Oh, that's okay.
I love the description of that character. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to see that on screen. Like that will be so fun.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, Strange New World seems like it's just going to be a very fun show, which I'm very for.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a return to that awesome Planet of the Week Trek form. Like it'll be good to have a Riker type character again, because I don't think we've seen anyone like Riker since Riker. Even Riker making pizzas on the Nepenthe isn't true Riker until he shows up and then threatens all the Romulans. That was Riker.
I think the truest Riker is Lower Decks.
It's true.
Okay, I will give you that. That's true. Oh man. That is the casted call, and those are the 5 new cast members that we have for Strange New Worlds. Again, super exciting news. I'm dying for a trailer. We know they've been filming for about a month now. Hopefully we'll get something sooner rather than later. Let's move on. We also, in a press release sent out by CBS and Paramount, that Akiva Goldsman, who is an executive producer on Picard season 1, and I believe on Picard season 2 as well now, he is writing and directing the series premiere. And that was also co-written by Alex Kurtzman and
And Jenny Lumet, right?
Thank you. Yes, and Jenny Lumet. Yep. Thank you. So he, like I said, served as an executive producer on Picard, and was also on he wrote the first couple episodes. I'm sure he penned and thought out more of them. He was on the writing staff. In a statement following the announcement, he said, "In a career, there is never enough work that is pure joy. I feel that my friend Alex Kurtzman, along with David Staff at CBS Studios and Julie McNamara at Paramount Plus, have given me just that by letting me haunt the stock rooms of my favorite candy store, and I am grateful. With a hell of a cast and undying love for the original series, we boldly go." And I just got goosebumps.
That is one of the best statements I've ever seen someone make. Like, I was like, oh, I actually can feel someone's personality in that, as opposed to like what PR person wrote it, like most statements.
Yeah,
for sure. Exciting. I like Akiva Kurtzman or Goldsman. My bad.
Akiva Kurtzman. We don't even.
They combined.
No more Tuvixes, please.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Yeah, Yeah, looking forward to it. What?
Yeah. I guess the question is, how do we feel about this task being given to Akiva? Because, listen, it's no secret on the show that none of us are huge, or all of us are not huge fans of what they did with Picard season 1. You think that doesn't matter? He's still the right person for the job?
Not sure. Like, I
don't know.
Go ahead, Eric. You
go first. I feel like, especially with their promise of a episodic nature and the fact that he wants to play it more like the TOS, it seems like, based on that statement, I feel like it's gonna be fine. Like, he's just gonna set the tone in the first episode, hopefully, and we'll see hopefully it go from there.
Yeah. I mean, if they stay away from like an overarching storyline and just make it more episodic and that, I think he's gonna do a fine job.
I don't remember where I read this, but I feel like they said like there'll be like it will all be episodic, except there'll be like references to like one thing that'll like appear in one episode.
Yeah, and it can still be episodic while having some
overarching story. I would say like that's like my favorite. Like I kind of how I prefer TV: somewhat episodic, somewhat of an overarching story.
Like old Trek. Old Trek was like that too. Like at least TNG upwards.
Mine is like very Deep Space Nine. Because occasionally you'd be having fun at the holodeck, and occasionally there's a war going on.
Yeah, true. I like it, and especially knowing he wrote the first 2 episodes of Picard, which I didn't have a problem with. It was more the series as a whole, so I'm not too worried about that. We also know that Jonathan Frakes is back to direct. I can't wait, and I think just going off what you guys said, they said something along the lines of like, yeah, it's going to be episodic. It's going to be a little bit serialized in the sense that like if someone gets shot by a phaser in the episode before, the next episode, they're not going to be magically fine again. Like things are going to carry over into the next episode.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. So I guess the last question that we have here is, we know that Strange New Worlds is in production right now. This wasn't the actual start of production, this announcement we got today. They've been filming for give or take a month or so. So they've got some stuff in the books already. We know that Disco season 4 has been going on all cylinders since late 2020. Do you think that there's any possibility that we see Strange New Worlds in 2021, or are we on track for early 2022?
Have they given an episode order? Is it like 12, 13
I've heard
again?
10 to 12.
I can see it coming out this year then. Yeah.
I could see it. I feel like if it comes out this year, it's at very end of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I figure early 22 in that, given like, you know,
Yeah.
filming, like, you know, and then post-production and everything and that, and the fact that everybody's.
They also
still
said
gonna be
Disco was
working
coming
on
out this year, and they started filming around the same time.
Well, I think it would be too much anyway to write. If we're getting Prodigy, we're getting Disco season 4, and we're getting Lower Decks all this year. To do 4 shows in 1 year, I don't mind as much as I'm dying for the damn show.
I could also see them not wanting to like have 2 brand new Trek shows in 1 year. So like have Prodigy have this year, and then have Strange New Worlds have next year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm good with 2022. We've been waiting this long, we can wait a little bit longer, right? Rob did confirm it is 10 episodes, a 10 episode order. So
and he doesn't see it before spring 2022.
Yeah, I would say spring, maybe January at the earliest.
Yeah. They start in August and just keep going until they're done. All the Star Treks again.
100 weeks of new Trek.
That sounds exhausting.
Oh my god. Well, with that, we leave you tonight with the synopsis. Oh yes.
Wait, I'm upset that they didn't announce this, and they should, and I hope they do. They did not hire like Amit Kaur, who played Sidhu.
We don't know that yet.
At least they didn't announce it. They should have.
They didn't announce
that would
it.
have made me so happy.
Yeah, they definitely should.
I hope she gets cast.
I need that. She was awesome in that short Trek. I want more of her.
She has another gig, says Rob.
No. I mean, that is the problem with like acting schedules.
Right.
Although with a 10 episode order, she could still do it.
That's true.
I mean, even if she just had like maybe she could be more of a Tig Notaro. I just kind of show up sometimes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I would like that. Actually, before I read the synopsis, Rachel, I will ask you real quick. What's new? Where can people get a hold of you? Where can people find you?
I'm Dramadorg884 everywhere. I would say I'm mainly on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. There's not much of a Star Trek TikTok, except there's some. So if you want there to be more, I would encourage it.
And you're doing DS9 episodes on Discotech right now, right?
Yes, we've just released we've been doing, so Marcy, who's on the podcast, has been watching it for the first time, and so we're doing like a couple episodes per season, and I think she's almost done with season 2, so we'll be recording that soon, the end of season 2.
Well, that's very exciting. Rachel, thank you again for coming back on the show. It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Again, last minute. I'm going to leave you guys tonight with the synopsis of the show that was handed out in today's press release, because we're evil like that, and we want to get you guys even more excited than you already are, because we're ridiculously excited. So, without further ado, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is based on the years Captain Christopher Pike manned the helm of the USS Enterprise. The series will feature fan favorites from season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, Anson Mount. This is why I should not print down paper anymore. Anson Mount is Captain Christopher Pike, Rebecca Romaine as number 1, and Ethan Peck as Science Officer Spock. The series will follow Captain Pike, Science Officer Spock, and number 1 in the years before Captain Kirk boarded the USS Enterprise as they explore new worlds around the galaxy. Goosebumps. Can't wait. With that, I will say to you guys, for Hawk, for Eric, for Rachel, live long and prosper. Majram, we will see you next Thursday for our Ships the Line episode. And we'll see you on Discord for Hamilton in just a few minutes. Have a good night.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the Hailing Frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.